Hello there, my Brony and Pegasister friends. I am Inkrose, here today to talk with you about something very important. Something that could change the very basis of what we know about Equestria. Earth ponies have magic. Like, really powerful stuff that could potentially destroy the world. Every non-Earth pony will be engulfed in the flames of Mud Pony wrath. No, it's not that big of a deal, but if we look into many bits of the show throughout all 4 seasons, we start to see evidence building to the fact that Earth ponies definitely have some kind of magic, and I want to try to analyze this information to see if I can figure out just what kind of magic this is. Now, let's get to it. First of all is a really big clue as to what kind of magic Earth ponies hold, and that is the fact that Sweet Apple Acres trees are always bearing fruit. Just think about it. Every single time we see the farm, the trees are covered in delicious apples. This is not simply something that can feasibly happen, unless Applejack and her family have some kind of innate growing magic that they use to make the apples grow back very fast whenever the old ones are harvested. And isn't it weird that whenever we see Applejack at work on the farm, it's almost always her bucking and harvesting the apples? Because of her growing magic, her daily work on the farm consists mainly of bucking these apples and getting them to the market. No wonder Earth ponies dominate the farming industry. They can produce much more than any other kinds of ponies can. There are other examples of this fast-growing action being used by the Earth ponies. In Hearth's Warming Eve, we see a plant sprouting up very fast once it is planted. Now, Applejack, or rather, Smart Cookie, just says this is because the ground is very fertile. But since when have plants randomly sprouted up immediately after they were planted, just because the ground was very fertile? Perhaps to test if the ground was fertile enough, Smart Cookie planted the seed, then used a bit of her magic to make the sprout grow very fast. The faster the sprout grew under magical influence, the more fertile the ground was. Another example of this again is in Hearth's Warming Eve. It is the Earth ponies and the Earth ponies alone who grow the food for all 3 tribes, because only they have the innate magical sense to grow the plants fast enough to feed every pony. When the blizzard started and food ran scarce, the unicorns and Pegasi didn't even try to grow food for themselves. Perhaps the Wendigo's blizzards created a magical interference with Earth pony magic that it could not overcome? Now, think back to Winter Wrap-Up, all the way back in good old Season 1. After Twilight took the wheel of the whole operation, things went a lot more smoothly, as you may recall. But did you notice how green the whole place looked after the snow was cleared away? The grass was a beautiful shade of green, the flowers were in full bloom, the trees were filled with leaves, and even the seeds they had just planted were starting to sprout. Earth pony growing magic? Maybe, just maybe. One last example of the Earth pony's plant-growing prowess is in the episode Bats, where we see, well, bats feasting away at Applejack's crops. But we see that between days, many of the apples seem to have grown back overnight, only for the bats to feast on them once again. Also, take a look at the huge apple grown by AJ. That thing defies the laws of nature like no pony's business. Either this kind of thing is common in Equestria, after all it is a magical land, or Applejack put extra amounts of care, love, and plant-growing magic into it. There! Done with the section about plant-growing magic, now let's talk about other forms of Earth pony magic that also seem to be used. First of all, Earth pony strength. This is the most talked about possibility of Earth pony magic in the fandom, and you know what? I can most certainly see this as being a thing. There's not as much proof for this one as growing magic, but there's a definite possibility it's there. Earth ponies are the grounded ones, the ponies more focused on physical activity. While the Pegasi are very agility and speed-based, Earth ponies are the ones hauling luggage, pulling carriages, and tilling soil. Throughout the show, they are shown to be hard workers and strong laborers. Even back in the days of hearthwarming, they were doing most of the labor, while Pegasi provided military protection and weather control, and unicorns the day and night cycle. In fact, the whole Earth Pony culture seems to be dominated by striving for excellence in hard work and bending the land to their will. Most settler ponies are Earth ponies. They have the strength and perseverance needed to strive in the harsh, untamed lands. In my opinion, Earth ponies are definitely stronger than the other races, possessing more stable and big-boned body structures. Perhaps their strength is also related to a magical property ingrained in them as well, though it's more likely physical than magical. Here are a few other strange cases of Earth pony magic. Zecora's potions. Though Zecora is a zebra and not an Earth pony, she still does not have wings or a horn. Her magic is displayed through her potions and medicines. Is the properties of the plants giving these potions their magic, or is it Zecora herself? Another even stranger example is Pinkie Pie. She does a lot of weird things in the show, such as breaking the fourth wall and pulling things out of nowhere. Perhaps the magical rainbow she saw as a child infused her with a unique breed of reality-bending magic. Can she see into other dimensions? And that's why she guessed what happened to Twilight during Equestria Girls? The world may never know.
Actually, I have a theory on that one.
Oh, hey Firebrand. Where did you come from? This is Cloudsdale.
Magic, Doi, Sonic Rainboom, Unicorns Master Race.
Oh, of course. Proceed.
Anyways, Lauren Faustus stated that all ponies contain an inherent magic, and it manifests in different ways, shown externally via race and cutie mark. The main thing about Earth ponies is they are connected magically to the Earth in some way. Pinkie has several abilities that may seem out of touch with reality, but might be explainable considering she's an Earth pony. Let's draw a connection here Edgeworth style. Pinkie has a connection to the Earth. Pinkie has a special magical ability. Pinkie has a special magical ability because of her connection to the Earth? It is strongly implied that the Earth itself has a magic of its own, or might even be some sort of sub-sentient being. If that's the case, we can assume that it taps into Pinkie via various stimuli to give her different reactions for different situations. If the Earth was sub-sentient, then it would probably know all of the events that were taking place on it. But seeing as it's not omniscient, it can only give Pinkie warnings for, and I quote, vague and immediate events. A lot of the events that Pinkie Sense warns about, like falling objects or someone getting mud splattered on them, could be accurately predicted if something or someone were watching the pieces go into play. This would also explain Cheese Sandwich's Cheesy Sense and where he can sense parties that are going on across Equestria.
Thanks, Firebrand. By the way, how long does that cloud walking spell last?
Oh, it lasts about...
He's probably fine. And to finish this whole thing off is the final and perhaps most crucial piece of evidence that probably every single viewer here was expecting. Tyrek taking away the magic of Earth ponies. This confirms 100% that Earth ponies have at least some sort of magic intertwined within their little pony bodies. And combined with the evidence I've already stated, it's most likely that their magic involved is a connection with plants. Now, I have heard elsewhere that Earth ponies also have a connection with animals, you know, nature and stuff, but I don't know, it doesn't really add up. For one thing, look at Applejack's history with communicating with animals. She's had to get Fluttershy to translate for her. She also didn't seem to have much of a connection with the things, especially when it came to the manticore, beavers, and bats. Now, AJ is only one example, but the thing is, we haven't really seen any Earth ponies connect to animals, only Fluttershy really has. I don't think that Earth ponies have an innate magical connection to animals. That seems like more of a special talent sort of thing, as demonstrated by Fluttershy. Anyway, those were just sort of my thoughts about the whole thing. It's speculation for sure. I mean, what would I know about Earth pony magic? I'm a Pegasus. My kind rises far above the mud ponies of below, our majestic wings carrying us through the heavens. We are a proud race, keeping control over the silver clouds which bring water and life to the populace below. Our finest rainbows dance across the sky, bringing color and life to the skies of all nations. Without the Pegasi, all would perish under the tyranny of unleashed storms and hurricanes. We rule the sky with an iron hoof, crushing those who dare oppose us to dust and scattering them to the winds which we control. Surrender to us or be... Hey, what? So, how does it feel to be the first prisoner of the Earth Pony Revolution?